my lovely wishes is Holly. How are you? Welcome to Dandelion Stitches. Good to see everybody. Good to have you all here. Today we are going to do a little demonstration of machine quilting. I am not an expert at this. There are probably countless people who would be better qualified to show you how to do this, but I'm willing to share my techniques and how I do it, so take with it, you know, what you will. I'm going to show you how I mark my quilt before I sew. We're just going to do some really basic straight lines, and then I will show you how to do a little squiggle. So I think that's it. You know, like, comment, share, whatever. All my contact info is in the description box, and let's get on with it. I created a piece about the same size as the table topper I did. So this is going to give you an idea of marking and using the machine. And I'll show you the general techniques that work for this size or even bigger. So the first thing we're going to do is mark it. And I'm going to do a really simple, just like I did on my table topper, just a simple diagonal line to quilt this. So we're going to start by taking as long a ruler as you've got. So in this case, it's my 24-inch ruler. And because this is clearly too big to do in one long go, we're going to start at the top corner and line it up with the middle where all the little points come together. And then I'm just gonna take a marker, please tell me you're working. Oh, good. All the way down to the point. Oh, also, this is just a, I made a little sandwich and it just has muslin behind it. You can quilt something with just the batting, but it really makes it a whole lot easier if you have something between the batting and your top piece. So we've got half that. And I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to do the exact same thing. And this time I'm going to line it up with the line that's already there. And it looks like we're a little crooked because I'm not coming out like super good on that corner, but I'm just going to go ahead and follow this line because we're already heading in that direction. So we'll just make it work. All right, and that's all you need because your walking foot is gonna do the rest for you. All right, if this is new to anybody, I'd like to introduce you to Bob the brother. Bob is a somewhat elderly sewing machine, but he never gives up. And at the moment, Jolene has been put back together, but I haven't tried her yet. So we're crossing our fingers. So anyway, we've got some stuff here, and it's kind of big, and it's a little, you know. So first of all, walking foot. If you do not have a walking foot, I 100% encourage you to get a walking foot. And it not just for quilting, machine quilting, just a walking foot is a super awesome thing to have. And that's my first tip. Okay, so we're gonna start at the corner. I'm going to start at the actual good corner. And we're just going to put down to keep things where they belong. I generally quilt or top stitch using a 3. So that's what's going to happen. So gather as much of it up into your lap as is possible. We've got a Shark vacuum, those little robot vacuums, and he messes with my foot pedal. No respect. Okay, so here we go. Just follow the line all the way down. And I will probably speed this up, excuse me, dramatically. Because, you know, you want to watch? Probably not. Okay, so now we've got some extra over here. So this is what I just start rolling it up. And this is the same concept that you would use for a larger quilt. You just roll it up. And as long as you can stuff that roll through this spot, you're good to go. Oh, forgot some important things. Another thing I would suggest, and this is, I'm going to do this include these in my notions video, but these little glovey things have those little plastic nubs on, like on the bottom of hospital socks, and it just makes it easier for things to keep moving, for your hands to help. Nothing slips. Just keep moving, rolling. All right, so you probably can't tell from this angle, but I'm starting to build up a bunch in the back behind the machine, and I will just kind of roll that up too. If I am quilting a larger quilt, I will take my machine out into the dining room and put it on that table so that as you're feeding the quilt through the machine, it can just keep going over the edge of the table and not get clogged up as does here when I don't have much space. Over the middle and okay, so this is where we measured things were not quite up to. I am going to ignore the line, and I'm just going to come down to the point here. Okay, we got one line done. So, next line. We're going to go back to the beginning. Now, can you see this? Yes, you can. Okay, my walking foot came with, it might have been my machine, my walking foot, I don't know. Came with this little rod. This little rod is the secret to easy machine quilting. It goes through a hole in the back of your, at least in this walking foot. It's in the back somewhere. There it is. Okay. And it moves back and forth. And so you can set it to however, like, you can see on the presser, okay, that's 3 inches. You can move it over. That's 2 inches. I'm going to do a little bit in the middle, like maybe right here. And this little thing is going to float along where you previously have quilted. Losing my glove here. Okay, so you're just going to sit that little bar down on top of the line that you just stitched and go for it. and that little bar just follows along and it doesn't move. It just stays put. Sometimes it rises up a little bit and you might want to push it down. See, now it's got itself worked up pretty far, so I pushed it down. Now, I am not a perfectionist. You might want to go slower. If you want your lines to be like super, super straight, this might not be the best plan for you. It might be better for you to use your ruler and your pencil and mark every line you're going to sew on before you go. But for me, this is the super easiest way, and I have always been pleased with the results. So I'm going to do one more line just so that you can see what I'm doing. So you can see this is the line we started on, and then this is the new line. Played chicken with the bobbin and lost. So we're back again. Get everything rolled up here. Get the bar where I want it to be. And continue on. When I do this, I do not watch the needle, I watch the bar. I forgot my hands. I'm not a good teacher. Okay, so does that all make sense? Should we do it one more time? Just to... This is the same technique that you would use to do any kind of straight line. I'm doing it diagonally. You could do it straight, you know, up and down. If you wanted to do like a checkerboard, or, you know, you could go back and start at this corner and go across. So you'd have that. We'll do one more going down, and then I'll show you a little bit. I'll show you squiggly lines. So back to the top, push down the bar. All right, so you would just keep on doing this all the way out to this end. Just keep on going. So then you come back, you turn around, you go from the other direction, and same deal. You just put that bar down on that point, and now you're just coming up the other side. however wide you want to make your lines. See, now I'm talking and I'm getting off the thing. It's completely up to you. It's aesthetic. I am by no means a pro at this. I am probably one of the least qualified to be teaching you this, but it's been trial and error for me, and this little bar has really made the difference. If you want them skinny, you can follow the edge of your presser foot. That works just fine. I'm catching my grandchildren's sniffles. Well, gimme. Okay, so let's say you wanted something a little less rigid and a little more free form. Now, I am not going to get into free motion quilting. I'm not. I've done it, but I'm not the right person to teach you that. But if you want to do something a little bit more less structured, you can your walking foot your walking foot makes it a little bit easier to move the fabric around under it. Now, I would imagine you could do this with any foot. I've just always used a walking foot. But especially if you have nice gloves like this, you can just, I'm going to lift up my bar because I'm not going to be using it. You can just go one way and then another way and then just keep pulling the fabric. And then you get a squiggly line, which is super fun and crazy easy. Just, do it again. You can follow the one you already did. You can go opposite. You can just do whatever works for you. You just go crazy. See, I even did a little squirty there. So that's it. Trying to think if there's anything I didn't tell you. I use 505 adhesive to glue together my pieces. I get annoyed by safety pins, but my sister, who's been, quilting for 60 years, always pins. Always pins. But they just, I don't know. I prefer to glue. So anyway, I think that's all I can really, all the knowledge I can bestow upon you about quilting with your domestic machine. And as I said earlier, if you've got a bigger piece than this, it's just a matter of rolling it up into a workable size that will slide through the hole. And it's let's be honest, it's a pain, but it's doable. So that's it from the machine. So that's all the info that I've got for you for today. I think if I had, my biggest piece of advice would be, if you've never done this before, if you've never machine quilted anything, I would start with something small or like a lot of practice. Like I've got, that's what we were just working on, is a practice chunk. So that you've got something that you can kind of accustom yourself to it before you put those stitches into your beloved quilt, because getting them back out again is not a fun thing. So that and this is what a walking foot looks like. Let me take this bar out of here. This is it. It's got this little, it's kind of like a big elephant beetle. It's got this thing that sticks out in front. And this hooks onto your, the screw that screws in your needle into your machine. So it's moving as the needle goes up and down. This moves and it moves along. And then all the working parts are in the back. If you've got a shank machine, this is the part that goes around the shank. And here's this little metal rod. And in this case, the rod goes in, it says here, in that hole in the back. In my Juki has a walking foot attached to it. So all I have to do is drop it down from behind. And the place that this goes in that one is way farther up in front, which I really prefer. But, you know, you work with what you got. So that's it for today. I hope everybody is awesome. I've got a few Notion videos planned for this week, and as well as a few box openings, I think. So don't forget the Facebook group should you feel like joining, and please share in the Facebook group. Share what you're working on, share what you want to be working on, share whatever. These are your people, like, and everybody's thrilled. I mean, speaking for myself, I get super excited when somebody posts something that they've done, because, you know, it's inspirational and it's good. So anyway, be well, be safe, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.